of the biggest challenges we have as leaders is time. It's one of the rarest commodities that we have, so we have to know how to make the most of it. So today I'm going to talk to you about how to make the most of your time. So hi, I'm Jules from Flying Colours Leadership. So let's talk about time. There's some really key things that you can do to make the most of your time. So there's 3 key things that I'm going to talk about today. So the first one is knowing what is vital. What is vital for you to do in life? What is vital for you to do in your business? What is vital for you to actually do? So how do I get the most out of my time and work out what's vital? One of the key things is remembering that if everything is urgent, nothing is urgent. If everything is important, nothing is important. So think about what is actually urgent and important in your business. What is vital? Because I hear a lot of leaders talk about, I'm prioritizing. Yes, I prioritize. I'm amazing at prioritizing, but I see them running around like a headless chook. So it's really, really important that we actually work out not only what is really important to do in your business, but also who is the most important person to do that. One of the questions I constantly ask myself whenever I'm doing anything is, am I the right person to be doing this task? Am I the right person to be doing this activity? And if the answer isn't yes, absolutely, then I look at delegating. And we're going to talk about delegating later in this video series. So it's really important to understand what's important, what's urgent, and make sure we aren't making everything important and everything urgent, because otherwise we're cancelling it all out. We also need to know what is vital for our business. So a lot of leaders, we're very hard on ourselves. So we think that everything is vital. When reality is opening our doors to our business is vital. Having some type of stock on show is vital. But having everything perfect is absolutely not vital. So when we are actually feeling time poor, we actually need to think about, well, what's vital and what's not. Number 2 is to think about scheduling. One of my old mentors used to say to me, if it's not scheduled, it won't happen. So I see a lot of leaders, and especially in the organizations in the business that we're in, actually forget to schedule. They just hope for the best during the day. And actually what we end up doing is we turn into a bit of a Tasmanian devil. And we just start spinning from crisis to crisis. Which one helps us, it really stops us knowing what's vital, but also we don't schedule anything. So if you know that there is a portion of your day that is going to be unplanned, we're in the retail business, right? So there's going to be a portion of our day that is either taken up with customers, with unplanned things, then make room in your schedule. What I see a lot of leaders do is actually plan themselves out. They plan 16 hours of work in an 8-hour day and then wonder why they feel like they can't get everything done. So when we're looking at scheduling, we actually need to think about what is actually achievable today. We do this really well Christmas time. We actually go, you know what, I'm going to be serving lots of customers. That's not achievable today. We need to take those skill sets that we use at those peak busy periods and actually use them every single day. What's achievable? What's on my schedule today? And am I just carrying the bucket? Now, what do I mean by carrying the bucket? You're putting out fires, so you carry the water pail with you everywhere you go. We need to put down the bucket and start planning. And think about this. Are you planning to succeed or are you planning to fail? Because if we don't have a plan in place, if you don't have some type of, schedule, some type of ritual, then it's going to be quite hard to get things done. Now, I know in a retail business, you might be saying, Julie, how the hell can I schedule? You can schedule when you do your rosters. You can schedule when you actually take a break. You can schedule lots of things in your day-to-day. And you can also schedule and go, you know what, these are the times I'm going to be needed on the shop floor. So think about it, when are the times I'm going to touch base with my staff? When are the times I'm going to train my staff? When are the times I'm going to do the vital things for my business, the ordering, the rostering, and schedule it in? If you start saying to yourself, if it's not scheduled, it's not going to happen, you will actually notice how quickly you can actually pick up pockets of time. Here's the other thing with scheduling. We can actually start to notice where we're wasting time. If you think about in your personal life, a great way that we waste time is either television or social media. Great time wasters. But we have lots of those things in the business life as well. Email is a great time waster. So schedule it in. Email is not an urgent form of communication, so we need to stop treating it that way. Telephone, that's the urgent form of communication. So schedule it in and then follow the schedule and then tweak. It's always about those 1% tweaks. So what's worked and what hasn't? And do I need to allow more time in my day to actually either be serving my customers, helping my team, coaching my team, whatever that looks like for you. But remember, you either plan to succeed or you plan to fail. We have the choice, which is the amazing thing. The last thing I want to talk about today is learning to say no. So as humans, we sometimes struggle. A lot of us struggle to say no to things. We struggle to say no to that meeting. We struggle to say no to that event. We struggle. So it's about learning to say no. And there's a couple of different elements to this. It's about saying no and overbooking yourself. So I'm sure you've got a time where you actually said, yes, I will attend that meeting or attend that function or whatever that looks like, and actually realize you didn't have space in your calendar for it. And what we have a tendency to do is we actually strip away something from ourselves. So I won't have lunch today so I can go to those meetings. Or I'll work an extra 3 or 4 hours today so I can attend all those things. So when we start going back to number one and thinking about what's urgent and what's important, we need to also factor in starting to say no. And that can be no, it's not about just saying no to everyone. It can actually be going back to people and saying, okay, well, I can't actually do that time frame, but can we push it out a day? Or I can't make that meeting, can we schedule something in quickly to talk about that? So it's about no with an option. So it's not just saying no to everything. What's the other option that is a bit more flexible and is a bit more suited to what's happening with you? The other thing is not to overburden ourselves outside of work, because we actually need downtime. We need time where we actually haven't got anything planned. We need time where, we do the things that we love to do. So when we talk about scheduling as well, schedule in some fun. Too many leaders I talk to don't have any fun in their life. Schedule in some time where you actually, it doesn't have to be, minute by minute, but schedule in some time where you go and have some fun, where you spend some time with the family, where you just do nothing. Because our brain is not meant to be working 100 miles an hour 24/7. So learn to say no to the things that aren't as important. And sometimes it's about saying no that you won't do it, but one of your team will. So I was talking to a leader recently and they were going to lots of meetings they didn't need to go to. Their team could go to them. So think of ways that you can actually say no to stuff in your diary and how you can make it more flexible. Just because someone has offered you this is what with the plan we think should happen doesn't always mean that's set in cement. So think about, what do I say yes to? And a great rule of thumb is to go, if I say yes to something and I get that sinking feeling of how am I going to do it? Think about that. There are the first things to look at about how do I say no with an option to those things. So think about what's vital, prioritize, delegate. We're going to talk about delegation in an upcoming video. Delegate and work out what's important and what's urgent. Schedule. You're either planning to succeed or you're planning to fail. And learn to say no. No with an option. So this has been Jules from Flying Colours Leadership and helping you get the most out of your time.